Hello and welcome back. Still Hello Nigeria here, and as promised, we have our guest in studio. This lady is a life coach, but before she became a life coach, she had a story that shaped her who she is today and is helping her to help others as well. We hope our interview with her today, which is aptly titled Broken But Beautiful, will inspire someone out there or someone who's been through what she's been through to come out, be bolder, and know that despite what life has thrown at you, you're still beautiful and you'll find that beauty today. Our guest is Vera Alex, and she's joining us this afternoon on Hello Nigeria. Hello, Vera. How are you doing?
Hi.
Good to meet you, Vera.
You're so pretty.
Thank you. You guys too. So nice to be here.
Nice to meet you. So you're an author of a book, Broken But Beautiful.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk about some of the things you shared in your book.
Yeah.
But first of all, let's go back to the very beginning.
Yeah.
Vera, what was the picture you saw? The Vera as a little girl. What was the picture you saw of the big Vera? You know, the picture of your future.
Oh no, I don't think I ever thought I would ever have like a future. I'm telling you, because growing up for me was terrible, right? It was not, I didn't enjoy my journey. Even recently, I was talking to my sister and she said something to me. She's like, Vera, did you enjoy your childhood? And I'm like, I did not enjoy much. So I don't think people, even people like, is it Vera? Do you understand? So it's more like, I did not ever think that I would ever be at this point. I didn't even think I was going to be coaching people on something so trivial. I didn't think I was going to have like this bright future, this amazing future that I have right now.
Why so?
Okay, so well, growing up, I was abused by my uncle, right, at the age of 7 years old. And I wrote it in the book that I was 7 years old. And then my sister came and told me that it was actually 5. I was 5, so like for like 4 years consistently, I was abused by my uncle.
Was he living with you?
He was living in the house. Okay. He was living in the house with us. But then the thing is, when my parents found out about it, they told him to leave the house. So when they told him to leave the house, he would come to school and pick me up from school and then take me to his house, do what he needed to do, then give me money, threaten me with a knife, all right, and then tell me to come back home. So I'll come back home by myself, and then I'll keep quiet about it. That happened consistently for 4 or 5 years until I got to secondary school. So growing up for me, I was extra intelligent, very smart. But then when those experiences started happening, I got really quiet. I was scared. I couldn't talk. Like, I literally would be in a gathering of people and everybody's talking about different things and I would be so quiet. It was crazy. It was crazy. Growing up for me I didn't have like a good self-esteem because of these things that happened to me growing up.
All right, so you were 5?
Yes,
and for 4 years this happened.
Yeah.
5 years, or a 5-year-old mind, what were you thinking? Why were you not comfortable enough to open up to your parents?
Nobody was talking about these things. First of all, I have amazing parents. But at that time, they didn't want us to go through the exact same thing they went through, and that was money issues. So they were literally trying to get money. And they did. They were successful. They had all the money they needed up until now. So the thing is, they were too focused on trying to get money, all right? And then I didn't have the attention that I deserved or I needed at that age. So it made me scared. And then when we have like a family meeting, we're literally like praying, because I grew up in a very godly Christian home. So we're praying, we're having family time, but then nobody's talking about these things. Nobody in the whole world is talking about it. So I felt like I was the only one going through it. And I felt maybe somebody else was going through it, so it's normal. Nobody's talking about it. So I just told myself, you know what, I'm going to keep quiet about it. And that's how I got to this point.
You were abused at 5.
Yes.
For 4 years after that, consecutively, you were abused. And then you got freedom, you went into secondary school. What was the effect that abuse had on you in the long term?
Okay, so I mentioned earlier that I was academically smart growing up. Like as at the age of 5, 6, I usually take awards home, like gifts, prizes and all of that. But then immediately, my final class in school, primary school, I had like a very terrible result. But then I shook it off when my parents didn't see it as anything. When I gained entrance to secondary school, just as one, and then I got to school, and then it got bad. It got bad because I literally would take last position, or the second to the last position, or like third to the last position. That was like my highest, third to the last position, and then I would go I had to repeat twice. It was bad. Like having to repeat twice. Like your younger people, like you literally call them senior. Oh no, it was terrible on my self-esteem. It just shut me down. In fact, I didn't even care anymore. I'm like, you know what? Since this is how it's going to be, and everybody has taken me to be like a failure, right? I just decided not to. I didn't do anything. And the thing that really bothered me at that point was that teachers were not. No teacher was interested. Nobody asked me. Nobody was interested in what is wrong with you. Why are you at this point? All right. So it's like you find out that every single person that was around me at that point noticed that, okay, you did well getting to this point, but then what happened next, especially my parents. So I blamed them for a long time. So it affected me academically. My character was terrible.
Tell us about your...
Yeah.
Now, I have two questions.
Okay.
Number one, I mean, thank you so much. You're bold to be speaking about this, and I'm really grateful that you have found the strength and the courage, because you don't know just how many people you're helping, parents and younger people.
Yeah.
Now, your parents might have seen you, because they knew their Vera as a very intelligent girl.
Yeah.
Did they raise any eyebrow at the fact that, why is this girl now coming last? Why should not? And then what did they try to do to help you or support you academically?
They thought it was a spiritual issue.
So they were praying about it.
They were praying about it.
And you needed much more than prayer.
And I needed people to talk to, and I didn't have that. I
like that what you said. You know why? In Nigeria, we are very spiritual people, and many times
I think it's religious.
Yes, religious. Many times, anything happens, and I'm glad our second guest is going to be speaking about something as well that people want to pray away.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with prayer. There's power in prayers, but also, we must also be realistic with regards to the fact that some things, like Chukwudi was saying, that we pray about getting things that in many places are basic, rights and necessities. So for parents who are watching, pray, but in addition to praying, be practical in helping your children. Pay attention to your children. I think that's very important.
So now, for the longest time, you were blaming your parents, you were blaming yourself, you had accepted that you were a failure.
I didn't even think my parents were at fault at that point. It was like after I got out of secondary school, that's when it dawned on me that, oh, I was actually so hurt that that was the point where I started blaming my parents.
Did the abuse ever reoccur again as an adult?
No, it did not. Oh, yeah, it affected me. Did I mention that I actually went into sexual relations with 2 girls? It was crazy, with 2 girls. Like, it's more like, it's dawning on me now that broken people break other people. And the cycle keeps going round and round if someone decides to step out of it. And in the world today, I think it's like 5% or less people that actually step out of that kind of situation. So it's like, I do not know. Oh, at that point, I did not know if I was probably there first as girls. You understand? I don't know if it's going to keep happening. And it's crazy.
Okay.
It's crazy. So it's like, even as at now, my uncle as at now is like, he has like so many children from different women.
Did the family ever, so what was I want to understand what the repercussion was for your uncle. Did your family ever accuse him? Was he sent to jail?
My dad was angry.
Was he your dad's brother?
Yeah, my dad was my dad's brother. My dad was angry. He was angry for such a long time, but...
They didn't try and persecute him?
No.
Thankfully, the story and the narrative is starting to change. People are starting to realize that you can get justice if your child or your ward or you are being molested. So you don't need to keep quiet anymore. You don't need to make it a hush-hush family thing. People need to go to jail for abusing children. Anyone who abuses a child or abuses another human sexually is a beast, is a criminal, and deserves to go to jail. Let's talk about the points, the turning around points for you. For the longest time, you lived with bitterness, you lived with resentment. At what point did you realize it was time to take control of your life? Okay,
so I did not know. I have been preaching now for over 8 years. I'm a preacher, right? So I've been preaching for over 8 years. And at the point where I wrote my book, that year, this was last year, so let's say 2016, I took a class, a coaching class. And then I was writing, and they asked, what's your story? Now, I am a Bible person. I love Jesus and all. So it's more like I have preached for such a long time, and I had issues. All right, I had character issues that I wasn't willing to see. I didn't even know I had it And this is what happens, because if you tell a person that comes and shoots different children now, they don't feel they've done anything wrong. According to them, they're letting out their anger. They're letting out something that is inside of them. All right, so it's like, at this point, I'm literally trying to sit down to evaluate your life. Reevaluate my life. So it's like, I'm literally looking at myself face to face. This is crazy. And then they ask, what's your story? And I'm sitting down and I'm like, no. I actually blocked this out. That's what happens. You block it out of your mind. You forget that it happened. Like, you don't want to ever remember till somebody comes or a situation happens like that just reminds you. And so at the point where I wrote my story, I'm literally crying with veins on my skin. I'm talking about my story now without tears. I think I went for an interview and then the person was like, cry. Like, you have got to cry. I can't cry about it now because I have, over time, I've healed up. So at that point where I was writing my story in the coaching class, it was a lot. I put down everything and then I was done. And I knew that this was where the issues actually started from. Before then, I had no idea. So it's more like, I told myself, when I came out of the coaching class, I told myself, this is why people, I don't judge people, right? So it's more like, this is why there are like deep-seated issues of different people all around the world. You don't just, I was aggressive, I was rude, I was defensive. It got to a point where I used to literally shout about everything because I felt I needed to defend myself. I don't want anybody, because I had rejection issues even in secondary school because of my failure, because of like academic failure. So at the point where I got my real breakthrough was I changed school, because this other school, they were literally shutting me down and all of that, this first school. So then I changed school. Immediately I changed school. My first 4 A's, my God, they literally celebrated me on assembly. I'm like, is that me? Is that Vera that calling? Like, this is wrong. Like, this is... And then it changed my perspective. Like, the little thing I did, and that's how I started doing more. And then I went back, I did so well. My lecturers knew me. And that's how my life literally changed, even after doing that coaching class. Now, my character was still bad. I didn't know how bad it was. And then when people complain, I'm like, you don't just understand me. You don't just get it. But then when I took that coaching class, and that is the reason why I had to tell myself that, you know, I'm going to launch a coaching company that's going to focus on people, right? And their pains and things that they have gone through that they do not even know that's affecting them now.
Okay. I'm honestly, we're spellbound. I think questions are out of my mind, but of course I have to. It's such a powerful story, and there's so many things to pick out from. Now, if you were to go back, because there are people like us who want to know how to deal with people that we see that they're not behaving like we think they ought to behave, or that we even know that have gone through this, how do you think would have helped you better? Number one, emotionally.
Yeah.
How do you think what reaction would you have preferred to have gotten from your parents or from people around you who knew about this abuse? Then number two, how do you think you'd have been better helped academically when you were struggling?
That's why I coach now. I coach educators and parents. That's my focus. Because I found out that you see a child misbehaving. And then it makes you see that you do not know that these issues are not visible, like they're not visible, they're not things that you can literally see. So I would tell them, and that's what I tell teachers now. I'm like, these children are going through a lot of things, and the best thing they can do is tell their best friends and tell their best friends to don't tell anybody about it. That's the best thing they can do, because it's what I did. All right, so I believe teachers, they need to go through a coaching class as well, because broken teachers will break students and broken parents will repeat the same cycle, and it's going to keep going. In fact, that's why there are social vices in Nigeria, in the world today, because these things are, nobody is caring about, nobody wants to know what another person is going through. Everybody's thinking about themselves. So you see someone that has potential or doesn't even have potential, ask them, what's happening with you?
So we just need people to be a lot more concerned.
Sensitive. Sensitive is the word.
Okay.
Much more sensitive to children.
Talk to them.
Talk to them and be friends. Don't be, like, I think recently I was listening to a teacher shout at a 2-year-old child, crutch, and he said, what is wrong with you? Why are you so slow? And I'm like, You're going to keep telling, and this other teacher was like, she was telling me, she's like, I shouted at this child. And I said, what is wrong with you? Why are you so slow? And then the boy, 5-year-old boy, and he's like, I'm not slow. Jesus said, I'm not slow. Something. He just like, in the two of this 1-2-year-old boy and another, who is going to grow up more confident, self-esteem intact? It's the 5-year-old boy. So it's like, we need to always make them know that this little verbal abuse is not just sexual abuse. There's emotional, it's verbal. The things you say to a child, it stores in their head. I remember every single negative thing.
I'm very glad that you mentioned this verbal abuse. Now, there are parents out there who are watching who think that the first way to correct your child is to speak negative words over their life. What you're doing is you're sowing seeds that would eventually germinate. So when you tell your child you're stupid, and eventually the child starts to behave like a stupid person, do not be surprised, because you called it upon the child. Very quickly before we let you go, for people who want to be coached, who want to go through this, how can they contact you?
Oh, okay, they can veraalex.com.ng.
veraalex.com.ng.
That's my website.
All right.
So you can go through Vera at veraalex.com.ng.
And since you've come out with your story, in 20 seconds, how's the reception been? Do you get judgment from people?
I've not gotten one judgment from anyone.
Brilliant. I'm glad, and this is a positive story for Nigeria and Nigerians, because it means that people are opening up, and I'm really glad that more people are speaking up about it. Ladies and gentlemen, we have had the phenomenal Vera Alex. Anyone who has gone through what you've gone through, come out of it, you're still standing beautiful, smiling, and even ready to help other people or to be celebrated. So today we celebrate you. We show, we certainly do.
To enjoy more of these our Ogbonge videos when you just watch, press this button to subscribe on top of our YouTube page. You go love her.
Hello and welcome back to the show. It's time for us to introduce our second guest, another powerful interview, trust me, because it's been a privilege to interview her before. She's the founder of Epilepsy Foundation Nigeria, and her name is Vera Alex, who has shared her story with us so graciously before, and we hope to hear it this time again. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Hello, Sheyi. Great to have you on the show. Your smile is so wide and beautiful, and you look good.
Thank you. Thank you.
So you're the founder of Epilepsy Foundation
Yes,
Nigeria,
I am.
which you started because you have lived with
I'm
epilepsy.
a person living with epilepsy.
Yes, you are a person living with
Yes,
epilepsy.
yes.
Now, let's go back to the very beginning of the story. At what point you discovered you had epilepsy?
Yeah.
Or at what point your parents, was it like you had seizures? Was it intentional or was it a mistake? Did you mistakenly find out? How did it happen?
This feels a bit weird because I've been on the same show and talked about this, but it's fine. Actually, my epilepsy started a long time ago while I was about 8 or 5. And it was just a partial seizure. It wasn't a major thing. But the first generalized seizure I have, generalized seizure is the one that you fall down and convulse and the saliva foams coming out of your mouth and all that. I had that when I was 18. So I literally been living with epilepsy since I was about 5. So it's been a very tough journey, but I'm here, basically.
You're a survivor, and we're really proud of that.
Thank you.
And not only that, we love people who use situations that they've had to help others and based on the experiences. Now, when people talk about, I love that it's Purple Day on Monday, for those people who don't know, and Epilepsy Foundation is going to be doing some things which we will be talking about, very soon. Now, some people talk about certain things, spiritual factors. Some people say that when you're not feeling well at some point, these are triggers for epilepsy. But what are scientific triggers for epilepsy?
When we say scientific, it is not just scientific, it's a general stuff. Epilepsy can happen to anyone. I would love to start with that. And if you have epilepsy, you have epilepsy. It doesn't come when you're sick or when you're down. Now, a person should experience at least one seizure. It is normal if a person does. It is not compulsory, but it is normal. But if you have more than one seizure, then the person is diagnosed with epilepsy. Now, a lot of people do not understand that there is more to epilepsy than just falling down and just the normal thing they see. People will say, oh, if you touch a person having a seizure, you're going to get epilepsy. If you share cutlery with them, you're going to... I faced a lot of that. And I'm going to tell you, epilepsy is not contagious. It's a brain disorder. It's like having wire in a circuit, the way you have circuit in your house. You have the blue wire and you have the red wire, which is not supposed to connect. Now, if the red and the blue connects, there's a spark. That's what happens in the brain, and that spark is like a seizure. So there are over 45 types of seizure. These seizures, the only one people are familiar with is the people that fall, which is the generalized seizure. People fall, they convulse, they jerk, but there are different kinds of seizures. I can be with you right now, and I might be having a seizure, and you would not know. You see some people, you say they are snobs. The person is probably having an absent seizure. The person is not aware. The person is just staring at you. It might last for 5 seconds or more. The person is staring at you and you're wondering, why are you looking at me? But the person is gone. The person is having a seizure. The person might be trying to pick up something. The person keeps picking it up and you're wondering, why are you lifting that and dropping it back? The person is having a seizure. Some people, a part of their eye just starts to twitch. You don't know. So I might be with you now, my hand is just twitching. I'm actually experiencing a seizure, but you wouldn't know. So people need to be aware, really.
All right. Your parents found out that you had epilepsy. Was it at 5 or at 18 that they knew of
At
this?
18.
At 18?
Yes.
What was their reaction?
Normal African thing. My mother was like, no, my child does not have epilepsy. What are you saying? You are saying nonsense. She doesn't have epilepsy. It's just convulsion. It's just. But the truth is that everybody is going to be in denial. But the earlier you accept it, the better. And over time, she learned to accept. A lot of people will say, oh, I have seizure disorder. It's still the same thing as epilepsy. You have the seizure disorder, it is still epilepsy. So for a very long time, I'd rather say, oh, I have seizure disorder because there's a less stigmatization attached to the seizure disorder than when I say I have epilepsy. But we're just being ignorant. Yeah. It is still the same thing. So she didn't accept it well. It didn't go well. But over time, she has no choice but to accept it because I'm a child. She can't throw me away, really.
So how have you managed it? Now, what some people are afraid of is because they feel that it is a very fatal condition. So they think that once you have it, you're on a time, you're a death sentence. It is death sentence, and very soon it's just a matter of time. Can you just enlighten people as to how you managed it? You look, obviously they say things don't show on the face. No one would ever imagine because you look so healthy, so bright, so beautiful. Yeah. So tell us, how have you been able to manage that and how people can support others?
Aside from talking about mind, you can manage epilepsy in different ways. you can go through surgery. Doesn't mean you stop having epilepsy, you just stop having seizures. It controls the seizure. You can be on medications and you can be on a diet called ketogenic diet. It's a protein-based diet. So I use medications, and the truth is that it is very expensive, and over time you keep taking these drugs. There are times that you get very weak, you're drowsy, sometimes you get aggressive, you know. So managing it, I think it is about people who are around me, because a lot of people say, well, how come you don't have scars? I actually have a few scars in private areas, maybe my lap or my thigh or something. So the thing is, if you have people around you who are supportive, you wouldn't really have to go through so much, because by the time I'm about to have a seizure here, I'm probably around my friends or around my family. They know they're supposed to move the table and move things around me that can hurt me. So what I basically do is, number one, I stand up for myself. When I tell you I have epilepsy, you cannot condemn me for having epilepsy, because I already told you I have epilepsy. It's a lot. I mean, there's still stigma attached. But the moment you can open up and talk to people, I have epilepsy. If you have a seizure, educate them. Let them stigmatize. It's fine. But educate people around you. If you have a seizure, they know how to take care of you. Yeah. The people that will not listen will still not listen, but at least a few people will know how to take care of you. And I take medications every day. I can't mention the name of the drug because some people would think that will work for them and buy it. It is advisable for you to go see a neurologist that would give you drugs or medications that will work for you. For some people, diet works. I tried the diet. It didn't work for me. So I would say that love is what really keeps me up till now. It's not even about the medication. It is love.
You mentioned stigma. Can you give us instances when you've been stigmatized, and has it affected your relationship with people? Some people will be wondering, she has epilepsy, is she going to see somebody that will marry her? So have you dated, and did the people you dated know that you had epilepsy?
I would say that stigmatization has always been, it still is till date. I mean, you want to create awareness to people. The moment you mention epilepsy, they're like, or they have the look like tease, that kind of thing. So the thing is, I've had people back in school who would say, oh, if you share cutlery with her, you're going to get epilepsy. It is not true. You can't. I've had people while I was 7 where I've had names, shaking girl, Banje, this, that. People give it different names. People call you different things. People run away from you. I've had friends that deserted me because I was having recurrent seizures. I was always having seizures back to back. It was really bad in school. And I would say that it has affected a lot of relationships. But the truth is, if you want to go, you can go away, because my health really matters to me. I can't be going through so much and then you're somewhere stigmatizing me over that after going through so much pain. I go through pain of drugs. I go through pain of having a seizure. I don't know if my next seizure will be my last seizure, because you literally live like every day might be the last day. You don't know when you die, really, because you might have a seizure here now and that's it. Or maybe I'm beside something I'm not supposed to be on. I hit my head on that thing. I'm gone. So I live my life appreciating myself every day, and I cannot let you spoil that vibe or bring your negativity towards me. So it has affected relationships. It is going to, if you're listening to me right now, it is going to affect relationships. It's going to definitely affect relationships. People are going to run away from you. People are going to avoid you. But you need to always remember that you come first, and you need to stand up for yourself, really.
Right. Thank you. I love your confidence. I love your boldness, and no one can take it away from you. That's the beauty of it. Now, let's talk about some things that you cannot do and that you'll advise people who have these conditions. Because there's some people like you who have embraced it, owned it, and conquered, you know, and by owning it, are dominating it. But there's some people who live in denial and want to just live a normal life and do every other thing. But what would you say to avoid, you know, to do? I know some people say don't drive. You're not supposed to drive. What are the things that you shouldn't do? You shouldn't drive.
You shouldn't drive, because when you drive, you put yourself at risk and the society as well. Imagine a bus driver that has epilepsy and wants to be driving. I mean, you're going to kill people. There's been accidents that people cannot even report what caused the accident, because even the government is not helping matters. So you're supposed to, the FRSC gives driver's license, right?
Yeah.
Now you're supposed to check their health stuff. They just give out driver's license. And you hear different accidents, different road stuff. A lot of them. Nobody says epilepsy cost 1. But the truth is that there are a lot that is caused by that. So you shouldn't take alcohol, because when you take alcohol, it is not good for you. Don't stress yourself. Don't miss your medications. Don't let, for example, now myself, one of my major triggers is emotions. I can get too hungry, I can get too happy, I can get too excited. So I try to balance it. If you're about to get me angry, I would rather walk away from that situation. So know your triggers. And for some people, before you even have a seizure, you get an aura. For some people, it's a running stomach. You start feeling that your tummy. At that point, get yourself in a safe place. Don't bother about who is there. Even if you are in the mall, lie down on the floor. let the seizure take its course, you know. And there are sometimes that people will say, oh, I'm about to have a seizure. For me, it is actually a slight headache at the back of my head. The moment I start to feel it, I don't care where I am. I'm going to lie down on the floor. If it is somewhere, a couch, I will just put myself in the recovery position, which is on the side. The moment you're on the recovery position, you are sure that you're in a safe place. Or you tell somebody around you, even if you don't know the person, just tell the person. If that one walks away, call another person. Or just get yourself somewhere. So basically, because in Nigeria, we can't be wearing medical tags. You're not even wearing tags. You tell them epilepsy, they're running away. How much more when you wear tags and they don't even give you the chance to express yourself? They're already epilepsy, start running away. So basically, we can't wear medical tags to even alert people. But on my phone, I have an emergency stuff that in case anything happens to me, you click on it, that's the first thing that comes up. What you should do, who you should call.
Beautiful.
So basically,
thank you for sharing this. You mentioned the recovery position.
Yes.
I want to find out what are the other things people need to know and what are the myths we need to burst. Now, some people say, oh, if you share cutlery with someone who's living with epilepsy, you...
That's ridiculous.
You know, you hear people say, oh, you can't get married to them because if you kiss them, you exchange saliva, oh, you're going to contract epilepsy as well. So what are the myths that we need to burst?
I will start with, I'm the only person with epilepsy in my family. If that is true, then everybody should have epilepsy by now. I'm the only person. It doesn't change the fact that there's 2% chance that it can be hereditary, which is it's a very, very low chance. So my point is that you cannot get epilepsy. It is not contagious. You can't get epilepsy from somebody being with the person. It's a brain disorder. What has my brain got to do with you? Are you going to assess my brain? I don't understand. You can't get epilepsy that way. You can't. And the truth is that a lot of people say, oh, they vomit lizard, you drink this. It is, how does the brain get to the stomach? It doesn't have any relationship. So in life, anything can happen to anybody. Epilepsy is one of those things. It can happen to anyone. And it can be treated. It is treatable. It can be treated. It can be maintained. You can live a normal life with epilepsy. Not totally normal life, but you can still live a normal life with epilepsy.
So you mentioned the things. I had asked you again, what are the things to know? You said recovery position.
Yes.
So if one sees somebody that has an
okay, if you see someone who is having a seizure right now, the first thing you need to do is check if they have any tight clothing, maybe a tie for men, or maybe somebody that has a chain, like that chain on your neck. Take it off. You know, if there's anything around them that can harm them, push it away. As you see that, don't restrict the person. Don't put anything in their mouth. Don't hold the person. Spoon. Don't do that. It's like seeing two wires shocking and you're putting spoon in the middle. What are you doing? You're killing the person and you're hurting yourself. If the person starts and your hand turns, what are you going to do about that? Don't force. Don't put your hand. Don't put anything in the mouth. Turn the person to the side.
Which side?
You can put it to the left. You can put it to the left side. Put the person to the side. Time the seizure. You shouldn't go past 5 minutes. If it goes past 5 minutes, the person's life is in danger. So you should get a pharmacy or something or hospital to take the person to. There are drugs or injections that abort seizure that you can use to abort the seizure while the seizure is taking its course. But you cannot abort the seizure yourself by restraining the person. You don't need to do any of that. You don't need to be scared. Once the person is calm, just ask the person, oh, are you all right? That post sections to it that after there are some people that for 3 hours they don't know what they are doing. Some people for 3 days they've not recovered from that seizure. But for some people immediately they are fine. They don't even know anything happened. So just act normal and treat them normal.
So 5 minutes, if it's beyond 5 minutes, it's an emergency. Yes. You have to find somewhere to go. Yeah. I mean, thank you so much. This is so enlightening for me personally because I was in school with someone like that and we used to be so afraid. Wow. We thought it was a spiritual problem because, the only time people fall under anointing is in church or when they're casting out demons. So you just think, they've started manifesting. So it's really, really important for you to talk about this and for people to be aware. Now, another thing that people are concerned about is social life with regards to marriage. We talked about dating, but in marriage, some people worry, will the person be able to have sex? You've talked about the fact that certain things excite and can trigger it. Would the person be able to have children? Would the man be fertile? How can a spouse be able to support, someone like that? These are things that some people are not aware. Can you please shed more light on that?
We have people in the foundation that we care for who have kids. We have people who are grandmothers. We have people, yes.
So life
a particular woman who is 80 years old and she's lived with epilepsy all her life. But she's not Nigerian, she's white. She's in the US. We have a lot of people support us from all over the world. So you can get married, you can have children, you can be in love with your spouse, you can make love, you can have sex, you can do anything you want to do. Now, everybody has different triggers. The way mine might be extreme emotion and maybe missed medication and stress, for someone else, it could be flickering lights. all those light strobes that
Yes.
flicks and all that.
No wonder you watch some TV shows and they'll say viewers who have
photosensitive epilepsy. Yes. So
rather.
everybody has different triggers. For some people, the way I'm saying, no, don't take alcohol. Some people will take alcohol and they are fine. For some people, they are on a particular drug. It doesn't suit them during pregnancy. Well, for some people, that's what works for them. So it's really you. So you can live a normal life, including getting married with epilepsy. I mean, there are certain states in Nigeria, there are parts of Nigeria where they say, oh, you cannot marry me because you have epilepsy and all that. They're everywhere, but it is uncalled for.
And to really stop
It
this
is
stigma,
uncalled for.
it is something that we all have to do together.
Everybody.
Very quickly, tell us what we need to do on Monday, which is Purple Day.
Yes. Purple Day, we are having a campaign called Have You Seen Epilepsy? Because you don't see epilepsy, but we feel epilepsy. And the campaign, we're going to be having school kids, we'll have adults, we have everybody is invited. We're going to have professional bodies like the neurologists, the nurses, the caregivers. We have them talk about epilepsy and the role they play in taking care of people living with epilepsy. We're going to have people living with epilepsy come and share their experiences. We're going to have people who maybe have sisters. We have a particular woman who is coming. She lost a younger sister to epilepsy at the age of 28. She died 2 weeks ago, so she's coming to speak as well. We're having so many people. So it's all about awareness, really. So we're having it in Magodo. Just wear purple. It's not compulsory if you don't have purple.
It's happening on Monday?
On Monday. This Monday, March 26, 10 a.m. at Magodo Phase 2. So if you want to get more details, go to our page at Epilepsy Nigeria on Instagram and on Facebook and on YouTube as well.
Epilepsy Nigeria.
Or check our website, www.epilepsynigeria.com.
All right, great. Thank you so much. Now, don't forget, this month is Epilepsy Awareness Month.
Purple Day.
Purple Day.
Yes.
And 26th in particular
yes, it
is
26th.
the day when we'll be gathering Magodo Phase 2,
yes.
courtesy Epilepsy Foundation Nigeria.
Yes.
Thank you, Sheya Rabada.
So
it's been wonderful having you on the show. All right, we're going to have to close now. I know that for many people, it's like we should just keep going. There's so many things we want to talk about. But the show continues tomorrow. Please join us 12 noon to 1:30 p.m. Olive and I will be right here. But before we go, it's to say happy birthday to all those who are celebrating today. If today is your birthday, happy birthday to you. You share your birthday with grades like Tony Elumelu. Happy birthday to Tony Elumelu. Happy birthday to you indeed. And don't forget, if you'd like us to celebrate you or celebrate a loved one, a close friend on Hello Nigeria, send us their picture a day before and let us know that next day is their birthday, and we'll be more than happy to celebrate them with you. Now, you can follow us at Wazobia Max. Use the hashtag Hello Nigeria. You can follow at Epilepsy Nigeria on all social media platforms. You can follow at Oliver Modi on all social media platforms. And you can follow me at Ayomairo Essay on all social media platforms. We look forward to having you again. Join us on Friday, tomorrow.
Yes, indeed. All right. Thank you so much for coming, Shay.
Thank you.
The message we are leaving you with today is that we are one people and we need to be able to share one love to those living with epilepsy, to those who have been abused, regardless of what the situation is. So we leave you in the hands of Femi Kuti, one love.